Hello, people from YouTube. It is time to begin with our third lesson, our deadly third lesson, because we have some technical issues. Our camera started to fail, so this is the third painting I'm making of this. So I am a little bit burned out. Let's hope this time this works out. Okay, what we have here is our wet canvas with our medium, remember, 1 part oil, 3 parts solvent. Whatever solvent you are using, that's okay. And we are starting right here at the top with some ultramarine blue mixed right on the brush with magenta. Okay, I am not mixing on my palette. I'm just picking some blue with my brush, and with the other side I'm picking the magenta, and I'm letting the color mix to happen right on the canvas. Okay, I'm doing the exact same thing right here at the bottom. As you can see, we got some stripes of magenta, but that's okay because we were going to have those kind of stripes there anyway. Little happy accident. And right at the very bottom, we don't care about that white spot because we are going to cover that with black, okay, to make our foreground. Let's spread this bluish color right here by the sides, and let's try to get a round shape. Yeah, let's close the sides with the blue. If we need more blue, we're going to add more. You don't worry, this is a painting with a lot of paint on it. Yeah. Okay, let's darken these corners with a little bit more of blue. In this painting we are not going to use black on the corners, but instead the darkness of the blue. Ultramarine blue, it's a very dark color by itself. When it's all piled up, and when we add that magenta, just look what happened, it gets almost black, and that's what we are going to use to darken the corners of the canvas, the upper corners. Okay, spread the color nice and soft, and try to keep that round shape right about in the middle of the canvas. It is not exactly the middle of the canvas, but it works even if you get that spot a little bit lower. You don't worry. Remember that we are not copying. Okay, we are painting the idea of the painting. You don't have to get an exact copy of what I'm getting here. So you don't worry if your painting comes out different. Yeah, let's keep rounding this light, and let's start to pull some of that color into the middle, little by little. I didn't get more painting from my palette. I'm just pulling the painting that I had right there on the canvas. Okay, and of course this is going to be our light spot, which is going to be, if you read the title of the video, is going to be the moon. Okay, so this is our moonlight that we are building here. Little by little, move your arm. This isn't black, people. This isn't black. This is actually magenta. But I know it looks black. That happens when it gets it gets mixed with the ultramarine blue, a very dark purple violet. Pretty cool. And look, very careful on this part. I didn't reload my brush, but I'm using what I already had from those stripes of the bottom, okay? I'm not reloading my brush. I'm just rubbing it against the canvas to get off there the paint that I already had on my bristles. And I'm going to start to make these mountain shapes very far away. Very far away. That's why we need them kind of softer than the stuff we're going to have on the foreground. The same on the other side. Let's make another mountain. Yeah, it's coming cool. Coming very cool. If it helps you, try to draw first the horizon line, which is what you can see right there in the middle, that I'm trying to paint here another mountain that is super far away. Therefore it's going to be super small in size. And we are learning here a little bit more about atmospheric perspective. Okay, what that perspective tells us is that things that are far away from us are going to look a little bit blurry, and they are going to look a little bit decolored. Their color is going to be softer, unsaturated compared to what we have closer to us, okay? So remember, blurry silhouettes in this case are going to be good. Very cool. Now let's go right on the white. I'm getting pure white on the corner of my brush. I'm going to land that corner right on the middle of my light, and I'm going to move it in a circular shape. Okay? We're going to build the moon. It's not going to be that big, but this is going to help us to create that kind of halo around it. Okay? It's going to look cool, you don't worry. Of course, if you want a moon super big, just like that, you can make it, okay? Don't worry. You don't have to get a copy of the painting that I'm doing here. As for now, what I'm doing is spraying this bluish color on the light, because I don't want the light to be pure white, but a bluish light. And I'm going to soften it little by little. The paint right now is very creamy because of all the layering that we have already there. So the softening is going to be very easy for you. Be careful with the mountains, but at the same time it is okay if you go over them a little bit, okay? If some of that shine goes through the mountains, that's okay. And I'm grabbing a little bit of blue, just a little bit, and I'm going to try to close that darkness over my light, okay? I need that darkness a little bit closer to the source light. Be very careful please, because remember, ultramarine is a very dark color. We cannot just throw it right there on the middle. What is helping us is that we already had there a lot of whites that we spread previously. Okay, it's looking cool. Soften it. Okay. Let me get just a little bit more. And let's work it. Little by little, keep pushing it into the center of the canvas, of the source light. Yeah. Careful here on the bottom, at the bottom, but remember that we can go over that mountain a little bit. Just pay attention to what is happening to it, okay? Because we don't want it to disappear entirely. We don't want it to disappear entirely. So, I think we're done here. Okay. Now again, pure white, same brush, in the corner, and I'm going to trace a circle right there in the middle. That's going to be the actual size of my moon. I'm going to give it a second pass. Yeah, I'm liking it. Super shiny. Super shiny. And with the other side of the brush, very carefully, I'm softening the edges. Just a little bit. Okay, looking cool. Yeah, remember, with the corner, very carefully, I'm softening the edges of that moon. Now let's go back to the water. I'm adding a little bit of black. Very careful here, please. Very careful. I messed it up and I added a lot of black to my brush. So what I'm doing is that I'm grabbing a clean, dry brush and I'm softening that mark. Okay? And with the same brush, I'm gonna start building the shadows of the wavy water that we are going to have here. Look that I'm not even picking more paint from my palette, but from the brush that I already overloaded. Yeah, it's looking cool. It's giving us this shadowy sensation that goes under every wave. It's not going to be a very rough sea, but it's going to have some movement. Cool. It's a little bit random, but remember to keep the horizontal line. Okay. Soften this a little bit more. What else do we need? A little bit more black here. Why? Because I think this is where my bright spot on the water is going to be. So in order to shine more, I'm going to need some darker colors over there. Okay? But be very careful. Pay attention, we are just drawing lines and then we're softening with the clean brush, okay? We're not covering the water in black. Be very careful with the black. We want that color to shine through. Keep building up little by little. Yeah, and I think we're almost done with the shadowing. Very good. Okay, let's go with our super fine liner. I'm picking here black with a little bit of magenta, just a slight touch of magenta. and a little bit of black to make it slightly gray, okay? And I'm dotting some dots all the way back there on that bay, some shine over there. But pay attention, those are dots, those are not lines, okay? Because remember, as things start to go far and far away, they are going to be smaller. So instead of lights over there, we're having dots of the moonlight shining on the sea. And here, which is about the same distance from the mountains to the moon, I'm drawing kind of the main reflection of the moon on this spot on the water. Build this up little by little. Don't get desperate, because white can be a mess too, okay? It's just as powerful as the black, so be very careful with it. Remember, we are building lines. We're building lines. And then if we need some more white, we paint that white very carefully. Some more wavy forms. You can see the sea is starting to take shape. We are using our lights to give shape to these stains of black and purple and blue. There, little by little, and little by little. Don't try to overdo it in just one pass. Yeah, more white. Keep reloading your brush, because remember, since this is a smaller brush, it needs to be reloaded a lot of times, because it holds a lot of less paint. And look how am I playing with the amount of paint that I have on my brush, okay? So I pick my paint, I'm going to some place in the middle, which is my brightest part of the sea, and as I'm running out of paint in my bristles, I'm starting to move myself to the sides of the canvas, okay? Here I'm dragging a little bit of that white so it mixes with the blue. Yeah. A little bit of that spider web that you can see sometimes there on the water, formed by the light that shines from wave to wave. Yeah, this is the longest part of the painting, so take it easy here. The next part, our foreground, is going to be faster and easier, and in my opinion is more enjoyable than the painting has all these marks of waves. But it's looking cool, we won't deny that. Very simple way to make waves. We can work them more, of course, but in this case we want to build them like this. To build them like this, to give the sensation of those waves, not painting them, not painting them, all of them as a whole, okay? Just indications of waves. Let's work this part at the bottom a little bit more. Some more shapes here. Let's drag a little bit of that white over the wave. Okay. A little bit more dots of white. I want to draw the attention, of course, to this part. That's why it's going to be brighter. Let's paint with the leftovers of the white on the bristles. We're making the mix, the white with the blue that we already have on the canvas. A little bit of more details over there, but remember, on the distance we need to have less details, less shining compared to the front, okay, to the foreground. Very wavy, very cool. Very cool. Some little dots over there. Some more shines over here. And over here. Just a little bit of patience. And if you find a spot that you don't like, that is super bright, just grab a clean brush, clean bright brush, and you can soften it, okay? Okay, more white here on the center part. And I'm trying to draw a little bit of current indication in which direction those waves are moving. We're trying to indicate that, not fully painting it. We're not fully painting it. It's just the sensation, okay, of waves. This is most likely only the wind moving cloud water. Yeah, looks cool, looks cool. Let's soften these parts over here. Let's go back to the paint and retouch this stuff that you think is overpowering. Good. Good, good. Looking cool. Okay, we're reloading the brush. Let's retouch these waves down here, little by little. Let's mix this blue with the white to get a lighter blue, a lighter shade of blue, to make the center of the water a little bit more brighter. Okay? But just a little bit, not that much. Just a little bit. Be careful with the white because your paint can start to look chalky if you add too much white to the painting, okay? Careful with the white. Okay, let's round a little bit more this centerpiece of the water. Yeah. I don't want the exact round shape of the moon here since the water is moving. It looks a little bit like a whirlpool, but it's okay. It's drawing the attention where we want it. I think we are finished with the water, so let's jump right to the foreground and remember black paint diluted with solvent. Diluted with solvent. We are draw the line of our ground, and then we are just going to fill it. Pretty easy, worked fast. It doesn't matter if you go above that line, but just be careful that you don't kill everything that is on the water. It took us a while, so try to keep it safe, okay? Try to keep it safe, especially the center part. Remember, black paint diluted with solvent to help us spread the paint easily. Do not add oil, please, because you can have adherence problems. The paint could not stick very well to what is already there. Okay, so by adding solvent instead of oil, we are actually coating the paint that is already laid on the canvas. Okay? Very good, very good. For this painting we're going to need a lot of black. So get a good chunk on your palette. And remember that you don't need to use a palette if you don't have one. You can use a dish, a piece of wood, a table, okay? Many people just used an old wood table as their palette. They just pour the paint over there, and they mix there. But be very careful. If you're using a dish, you cannot use that dish to eat ever again, please, because paintings have a lot of toxic components in them, okay? So beware of that. Okay, let's start with our big tree over here. Again, black, diluted. This is going to be a threefold tree, kind of. 3 big branches coming out of the central part of the thick trunk. Some of the roots over here. Okay. Remember to make them a little bit thicker on the base. Yeah, the rooting coming out of the ground and again to the ground. Yeah, we can reshape this pretty easily since those are only silhouettes. And I don't know, but I think that guy looks like Groot. Yeah, with big hair pointing up to the sky. The roots are his arms. But okay, let's jump to the other side. Another big tree, but different tree. Some variety. Let's work this a little bit more. Remember that a shaky hand is going to do you good here. To paint all those knots in the branches. Okay, I think we just killed the Groot shape. Let's retouch this. This is probably going to be a little bit taller. But first let me work this part of the tree. I need it a little bit different. I wasn't into it. I think it looks better now. Okay, let's paint a root over here. Again, coming out of the ground. Let's reshape this corner here. I think it looks better. Now I'm going to need kind of the root holding here, the tree. It looked a little bit weak. It could fall. Okay. Now very careful, people. Very carefully. When it black paint out of the tube, please not dilute it. We need very thick paint out of the tube. Very heavily loaded brush, please. And you just look how hard I was pushing it on my palette to spread my bristles. I want all those spacings over there to help me to build this texture. Okay, this build texture. Remember, not diluted painting here, please, because it won't work. Thick paint out of the tube. Okay. Warning number 2. Do not paint where you already have painted. Okay? Why? Because we are going to soften those shapes that we already have there. Those little indication of leaves that we have, they are going to disappear. They are going to start to mix with the background, and they are going to start to look very messy, very grayish. And we don't want that. We need this heavy texture, okay? Heavy texture. And I am repeating, thick paint out of the tube. No mediums, no solvents, please, or it won't work, okay? And keep your spacing between every brush stroke. Dot your canvas, okay? Dot your canvas. And do not come back to a place where you already have black paint on it, okay? Because it will get very blurry, very messy. That will be actually kind of hard to fix. Fixable, but a little bit hard. Remember, the black is a very basic color, very potent. So be careful. Okay. And play with your brush. You can use the tip, you can use a corner, you can use the full body of the bristles, you can use the sides to create different shapes. But remember, we are dotting. We are not scrubbing. We are not swiping, okay? We are not sweeping. It's looking cool. What do you think? Some foliage, this canopies. Yeah, a little bit lower. Remember that foliage is uneven. It's uneven. And remember to keep that spacing between your dotting, okay? Between your brush strokes. Very cool. Looking cool. Yeah. A little bit more on this part. And let's go, I think, to the ground. me get some more black. So let's add some bushes right here on the ground. But be very careful, it's the same technique as on the trees, with the spots showing the background to give us the sensation of shape and texture of bushes. Some plants over here on the ground. Yeah, let's add some more here in the middle. But we want to keep the terrain uneven, okay? So don't come too high on this part. We want to keep those mountain shapes on the right and on the left. Build them little by little, and remember, do not overwork your bushes, okay? 1, 2, maybe 3 strokes will do it. You don't need more, or it will get messy, okay? So control your brush, your dotting. This is dotting, even when it doesn't seem like it's dotting. It is actually dotting. Technical definition of dotting. Let's add a little bit more plants here. Let's go this a little bit longer. Take a step back and look at the painting and see if you need some more work here or there. And okay, again, we're going to change from our thick paint to our diluted paint with solvent, okay? With our fine liner, we're going to add some branches, and I think this is the part where we're going to finish the painting. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe and share it, please, and see you on the next time.